folks should be getting sleep. You know, welcome. How are you? Good. Reverend Benson, pleased to meet you. Good. Good. Come right on in. We're glad to have you. Just make a seat somewhere. Did you get a little brochure? They have a brochure right up here that talks about the expansion. Let me get you two.
All right. I thought she had picked up one.
Okay.
You didn't get an email? The email
Oh, okay. So you might just need to refer to them. All right. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing? Welcome to Methodist Church. I'm not sure that. Good. Well, hey, man, how you doing? Good. Come on in. You excited to get this little quick rundown of what's going on? Oh, you're going to do the work? Well, good. You're employed. I'm really well employed. And don't y'all forget the Lord's house when you come back here. Amen. All right. All right.
I'm Joe. I'm good.
You want to get started?
You say you have four?
Those?
Because we were with our house. I don't know, daughter.
They're coming in. Some of them.
How are you doing this?
Good.
What's
The whole thing. Well, man, I'm glad to see you. Don't forget the church with the pension back.
I'm sorry.
I'm Frank Dunn. How are you? Okay. Hot and crown.
We're doing it now? Oh, that's what it is. We wanted to commit to something, yeah, before they take off and leave. Okay. Good evening, and welcome to Bethany First Baptist Church. We're glad you could be here tonight for this hearing, or certainly public meeting on the expansion of the Noblewood project. We're glad to have city officials, contractors, and more importantly, we're glad to have citizens to come out, because that makes a public meeting. Otherwise, it would just be a staff meeting. So we thank God for a public meeting. We're glad you're here, and we're glad those who could join us on the internet, and as we indicated in our radio broadcast, if you have questions and you've logged onto the internet, just blog your question in, and we will certainly get it asked of the officials, and you have opportunity to hear an answer. But right now, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Firdaus, and he is from the City of San Antonio Department of Public Works Project Management Division, and they're going to do a presentation, after which I'm sure you'll have questions, and I'm sure they'll give you an opportunity to question along the way. Just as a matter of note, I had prayer before we began. Amen. Amen. Thank you very much.
I'm going to begin. My name is Dave Hook. I'd like to thank Reverend Benson for hosting this. I'm with the City of San Antonio. On behalf of the City of San Antonio, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out. My role in this, well, let me go through with the introductions first. My boss, project management, is Mr. Al-Salam Firdaus. Project engineer, Dale Keller. From the Parks Department, we have Phil Covington. From our engineering firm, Peg Dawson, we have Jason Diamond and Trey Dawson. We have the developer of Wheatley Heights Sports Complex, Mr. Frank Dunn. And we have the contractor that we're going to be having on this from Zumwalt Construction, Lenny Turpin. I am what's called a capital projects engineer, capital projects officer for this project. What that means is when construction begins, I will be the city's liaison contact person for you. On the flyer, there was a handout that's in the back of the sanctuary there, has my name and number on there. I also have business cards back there, again, which contain my number and my email address. During this construction project, if any issues arise, either with construction, city crews, or stuff, or if you just have questions, please feel free to contact me. Like I said, my contact information is on there. This, I feel, is a great project. We're talking about the Noblewood Drive street expansion. This is Noblewood Drive street expansion project. It will construct and reconstruct and widen Noblewood Drive from East Houston to Tamarack, and it will extend Noblewood from Tamarack to connect with the Wheatley Heights Sports Complex. These improvements during construction will widen the street from its current 30-foot wide pavement width to a 44-foot wide pavement width, and will provide a center median. Noblewood will be extended. The extension portion will be 44-foot width with no medians. Additional improvements will include new curbs, sidewalks, driveways, and drainage improvements to this. There will also be improvements that will occur to the current utilities. SAWS is doing upgrades. CPS is going to be doing some upgrades, and Time Warner and AT&T will also be doing some upgrades. The tentative start of construction, we are looking at a November start. Some of the utilities may be out a little bit before that, but the actual street reconstruction portion tentatively is set for November. This is approximately a 14-month long project. Its estimated completion is in January of 2013. I mentioned that our contractor on this will be Zumwalt Construction. The engineering firm, like I said, is Peg Dawson. The project engineer is Dale Keller, and my name is Dave Hook, and I'm the project liaison officer for you. This project, like I said, you can see here, we have Houston Street, Here's Tamarack, where it extends to. This is where we're talking about the 44-foot wide with medians in the center. This is the extension portion of Noblewood that will extend down into the Wheatley Heights sports complex that's currently under construction. Somebody had, I believe Reverend Benson had asked earlier what the estimated cost of this project is. It's $1.3 million. Say anything, Mr. Perdos?
Well, thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Reverend Benson, for hosting this meeting. Really appreciate it. Well, I think you pretty much explained our scope. This would be a great gateway to the Wheatley Heights complex, and also a good improvement for the neighborhood. And it's pretty much, David mentioned it's going to be 4-lane, 2-lane each directions with a median in between. And also all the utilities equipment. I mean, that's basically it. We would like to start our first phase with utility improvements. SAWS is going to go ahead and start their improvement, like water and sewer, and then we'll start. I mean, there are a couple of stuff going on here. As you know, there's a house on the way. The city has purchased that house, and we will go ahead and start demolishing that house pretty soon. And then the extension. The sequencing, I'm thinking first the SAWS will do their water and sewer, and then meanwhile, I mean, at the same time, there could be, depending on our contractor, there you go, Lenny, thank you, when he can get the crew to move the house, and then we will probably start working on the extension part of it. So you will not see that much disruption on your existing street other than the SAWS work. And then once that is done, I'm assuming, please correct me, Ray and Jason, we will work on the widening part of it. And there is a component I'd like to make sure you all understand. We're working on the right-of-way acquisition. It's in progress on this part. Hopefully that goes pretty quick. And once that's done, and we'll go ahead and working on the widening part and open the traffic onto that side, and then we'll close the other side, the existing part of it. That's really the sequencing of the whole projects. If you have any questions, we're anticipating this project will be done roughly by the end of next calendar year. That's what we're thinking, next December or January of 2013.
Mr. Ferlons, let me just ask a couple of questions for the sake of those who have not been in on some of the meetings. One of the things I had asked was that the widening of the street leave us the opportunity to still do on-street parking, because we do have large funerals, large events, and I just want to ensure that that is still the case. We want to be able to do on-street parking when we have our events.
Well, thank you for the question. Well, as you know, that this widening or this road we are doing, one of the main purpose of this Wheatley Heights complex. Hopefully, that the event they will have in the complex not coincide with your operations.
Right.
So we will not probably put any sign that no parking, but we do not recommend or encourage you park. I mean, we're not going to have any signs saying there's no parking. So you would be able to park, but we do not.
Sure, I understand the whole purpose. So that leads to my next question, because you're going to have a 5,000-seat stadium, and then you're going to have Noblewood for the ingress and egress to the stadium. But maybe you ought to also talk about some of the other routes that will need to go, because 5,000 people coming down Noblewood would generate traffic and certainly the necessity for management of that traffic. How do you feel about that, and would you address that?
I would, Frank, do you have any input on
Martin Luther King Street, you can come in and go the back way to the park. So we have 5,000 seats, and realistically, we were in a meeting today, and any of y'all go to the Sam Houston's football games? Got one person. Y'all do? What's the average person for the game? What do y'all think? About 500? You hit it right on the number. Realistically, we got a 5,000 seat stadium. I don't ever know when we're going to have 5,000 people over there. I mean, it can always happen, don't get me wrong, but some of our biggest tenants that we're soliciting now, you know, if we're doing 1,000 or 2,000, then we're all good. But because of the way we had the stadium designed, it was a 5,000 seat stadium. So I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's ever an issue. We also have an emergency exit that we're only going to use as an emergency on Upland in case of emergency. But on that low water crossing, it is in the 2012 bond to pick it up and widen it. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but the hike and bike trail stops over there. Were y'all aware of that?
Yeah.
You know, it's all over the place. I mean, and it stops over there because they don't have adequate deal for it yet. So they're working on that. We might even work together and get this thing done. So, any other questions on that, Brother Milton?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, from F Street, I noticed that they started to build a road in there, and it runs from F Street all the way over to Rigsley Street. Okay, that's a part of this expansion that you're talking about now, right? With the roads there, the double roads. Okay, it's going to lead into the area where the stadium and all that stuff is going to be, right?
Well, you know.
Okay, so what are you going to do with the parking? And what are you going to do
Well,
about
we got more parking
the
on the
traffic?
wall out. So that is actually not a street. That's part of the hike and bike trail. That is, yes, right there.
Wow.
You can drive a car. You can drive a car there. But that's going to be part of and it's already there.
Yeah.
So you can actually come all the way up, and it stops right at the low water crossing. Then it picks back up inside of. Have y'all been back to look at the stadium yet? When you get a chance to go, your mouth's gonna drop like I do every time I go back there. It's really beautiful. So it'll run all the way, but they're gonna work on that low water crossing. Hopefully in the bond we'll get a whole new deal. So any other question on that one? Okay, I'll give these guys some mics.
Thank you, Frank. Any other questions?
What is the actual address to the sports complex? What is the name of that address? And the cross street, exact cross street?
Sure. I think that Whitley Heights Sports Complex, correct?
And 1026 up. Yeah, 1026, and it changes every day, believe me. It just depends on what day you call. That's what it is that day. We're going to get a more permanent situation because you know that we're kind of split. We have the south section is the south section, and we have a north and a south section, and we have actually two different addresses, one for a building. But we will combine the two, and as soon as we do it, we'll let you know. Have you ever moved in a house and you had 2 or 3 addresses? Anybody ever did that? I have. I got a house built, and they gave me like 2 addresses, and stuff was going everywhere. So I know what they do. So you have to go down there and talk to the city, and then they'll put them all together. So it's no big deal. Yes, ma'am.
So the main entrance is off of
No. This will be the main entrance. This will be the main, and then the park, coming from MLK Park, that will be the second, and then only in case of emergency or something to happen. So we're way ahead of what we thought on the project because we haven't had any rain. So we're actually 2 months ahead of what we thought we would be, which is I don't know how to take that. I like that, but I know we need rain. So but this is where we're at. So we're accelerating. These guys are good enough. The city was gracious enough to work with us really good on this because we always needed this road to come in because it would enhance everything else we did that part. Any more questions?
Only because I haven't been involved in any of these. What else is going to be back there besides the football stadium?
It's going to be football and track. It's going to be cross country. And in the south section, it's going to be all soccer. and they got the hike and bike trail that runs through there. So they finished the bridge, and I think, that's going to be part of that. Oh, sorry, amphitheater.
Small.
Yeah. It's not going to be real big. It's not going to be real big. It's going to be amphitheater. That's for church. I want you guys to have outside church. That's what I want to put up.
Are we gonna have a lot of kids to participate in all the activities?
One of the deals, this facility was, even when we started talking about this, it was a neighborhood, although it was a venue deal, we thought it was critical that we did it for the neighborhood. That's critical. And I think, and I can give you these numbers, and they're not going to be right, but there was X amount of kids, which means a whole bunch from here all the way over to Judson that had no sports facility to go to. I mean, realistically, if you really think about it, they never had that. And so that was an issue that was real passionate with me to make sure that we had this facility for the kids from the area to play in. So all of the little popcorn type leagues and the Niger, and there's a whole bunch of crazy names that they do now, and then the track and all that, then it was like that. But then we said, what are we going to do for our seniors? Well, then we need to have that cross-country deal, or we had to have a walking path for our seniors, which I qualified for, to go through. So we had to put that in part of that too, and then that's the first phase, because we're talking about doing some other stuff now too.
Okay, how did you actually get into to go?
If you want to go look at it now,
Yes.
okay, just go through the park. Go through Martin Luther King Park. You know what a low water crossing is? In Martin Luther King Park, you know what had a yellow gate?
Come on, breathe.
Okay, show her because she doesn't know. Then you open it, it's open during the day because they got construction, and you can drive back there. Then they're gonna run you out because they got construction going on. But at least you can drive through and just see part of it and then leave. But I think once you see it, you're gonna be real happy.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes, ma'am.
what is that little area, once we come all the way down before we get ready to go over the bridge, and it's a little part that way they have been working on, just rocks sitting there.
Yeah.
Just before you get ready to go over the bridge. What is that little
Those
part
were the
there?
hike and bike guys.
Okay, that's the one
Yes, ma'am.
on Rigsby, they
Yes.
come off of Rigsby?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Those are hike and bike guys. They were there way before we
I
even
sure hope
started.
y'all clean all that out, because that's dangerous.
Well, I ran into the city manager and somebody else today as we were walking downtown, and they said that, hey, we have to clean some of that stuff out, man. Like, great.
But can they still come from Rigsby to there?
You can go now from Bigby to that. It's already, that part of it is there. It's just cut off right at the little water crossing. Yes, ma'am.
What about security?
Well, this is what we think. When we first started building that, to be real honest, none of the hike and bike trail has security either. All of us. That's a whole lot of miles. That's like crazy to me. But what our plans is that first of all, we got some stuff over there now. We've had some vandalism already. But in the south, you know what I mean by the south, the one that's heading toward the Salado on the other side of, the area that flooded?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a building that's already constructed over there. And in the very beginning, one of our deals was to get somebody, we offered it to the park rangers to use this whenever they wanted to use it. And we're still going to work on that.
But are you gonna have like at a lot of city parks where the gates are locked at X time?
Yes,
Is this gonna be locked,
Yes.
locked off?
yes,
Whereas-
at certain time. We're going to have one here and one on the low water crossing
Okay,
also.
so down here at Tamarack, is that?
I don't know if it'll be a Tamarack, but it'll be further into
I
the
guess
park
what I'm
area.
looking at is to cut down on vehicular traffic that's going down and messing around down there.
There ain't gonna be nobody messing around with that thing. It's $7.5 million, man. I ain't about to let nobody go in there. At night and do no whole lot of nothing. All right.
There would be a gate
Yeah.
there on Noblewood right at it.
Yeah.
You would not even, you
can't-
wouldn't have to
just
turn
can't go
down
out
there.
there.
There's no way to turn around if you did.
Yeah, and this, I don't know about the other neighbors, but I know a lot of people think they can cut through to other places, or they mistake and turn off here for upland. And we have a lot of people who just.
Turn around, because
Yeah, do a lot.
you can't turn off, yeah. We'll have that corrected, believe me. Yes, sir.
Frank, can you touch on the beautiful sign that's going to be the gateway, and also the fact that how East Houston is going to be impacted? Because I know we did talk, Dave and I, earlier. There really won't be a traffic light until there is a traffic study that generates the traffic to merit the light. But I do know it took a long time to get a light for Upland, and that is a concern for the community with traffic and a traffic light. So tell us about the beautiful part, then tell us about what you're going to fix.
That traffic, did y'all bring a copy of the plans?
Yes.
Okay, we have a copy of that architect guy. He left, so I was looking for him. Yeah. There he is. What, did you bring a copy of the deal? He said he got it. Okay.
This is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one.
There's a smaller,
Same
same size.
A little bit bigger, but not.
Y'all can pass it around. Let's do that, because it'll be just so much easier. That's gonna go on the media.
This will be the marquee that's got, will be on Houston Street, or right at the entrance, yes.
And what about, I guess we need to address the light for the traffic,
Right on Noblewood, yes.
traffic light.
Well, for the traffic light, we need to have a traffic study. I think based on the study we have for the complex, they don't warrant the signal yet, But I think future, if they do have some sort of development here, that may trigger a signal. But at this point, with the improvement, what we have in the Whitley High complex, they do not warrant a new signal.
With the amount of traffic that we're going to be having, according to you guys, you're going to need a traffic light.
Well,
For an event, we would probably have police officers.
I think what's gonna happen, yeah, it's gonna make it worse. I think what'll take place with that, as soon as we get to the capacity where it's so many cars going in there, you'll get a light traffic. I don't vision, it ever being an issue, because if it does, they'll put.
We haven't had this type of project here before, for it to have an issue.
Right. Well, you hadn't had a drive through the street either, so the other part of it is because it's a 4-lane deal, and remember, they're gonna have a meeting in there, if they're coming in, they're gonna go completely be on the other side of the deal, so you won't have a problem getting out of the neighborhood. Any more questions?
Has anyone heard about the new development over here, about that project?
Talk about Blackburn.
Blackburn, we're not sure at this time.
What was that question?
It's supposed to be a project, some apartments being built over here, but it's been on hold, and I'm just wondering if they had heard anything about it.
Oh,
We haven't, or any definite one. He had different ideas, nothing is concrete.
No, I hadn't heard anything, so I'm not really sure.
No, I haven't heard a thing. I was going to rise to ask another question about, for the contractor. The contractor's here, are they not? Yes, sir, they're here. All right. I want to know why you're going to park all your heavy earth-moving equipment. You're not going to put it on my parking lot, are you?
No, it'll be down off
All right. Well, we have a storage fee if you want to do that.
So you do it, and you just gotta pay.
More than welcome.
on the median, there is going to be, since the median is going to be going all the way, but there is going to be a way going to a Tamarack or Sparta.
Yes, it will be open.
That will be opening. Any other questions?
I had a good question back here. Dear lady wanted to know if our property taxes would go up with all this expansion. That's a good question. Who's going to pay for it?
Well, the answer would be our current property owner.
I'll address that. I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, your house is probably gonna go up another $100,000 this park is just way, you know, the money generator is what they call it, is way over there. So I don't think, you know, you can't say what they're gonna do, but I don't think it'll affect anything.
Okay, from the standpoint of property tax thing here, my understanding is that if it does go up, then it cannot go up until something is generated from the standpoint of the neighborhood. That wise, I mean, while you're still working on it and things are going along, they try that. But I don't know if we have to simply come together and say, no, we're not going for it or whatever. Now that it's 20 years hence, the time that it should have been, you want to raise them immediately from the standpoint of that, because I'm not, you know, property tax, no, we're not. We will be front and center.
No, we don't, I don't think, no ma'am, I don't think that's the issue. It won't be.
Okay.
And if they raise it, it's the whole city, it's not just us. So, one area. Okay?
But I have an additional question. Should we be concerned that the city bought the Pittman's house, and based upon the value of that, could that also not increase the value in the home?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Now, your question is based on what we pay on that house, if your tax is going to increase. I don't think so.
I used to work in the Bear Appraisal District, and we did commercial and real estate on the Board of Adjustment. When a house is sold, it does set a standard. And they take an average of about 3 homes, and then they divide that, and then they go by the square footage. So in as much as it went for the fair market value, let's assume that 2 more houses will sell for fair market value. Then they'll do the weighted average of those and determine what the price is going to be perhaps in that area. Right now, the real estate is depressed. So many foreclosures are on the market, and the tax base is dwindling. So right now, we're going the other way. With a building of this magnitude, I'm certain the values will go up some, but it couldn't be a whole lot. Most of these homes are over 40 years old in the neighborhood. I believe that would be correct.
Where is this house y'all planning on moving?
The one right on the end of Tamarack.
The end of Tamarack?
If you go on Noblewood, it runs straight in. It's the last house on Tamarack.
Last house?
Just drive straight down and face it here.
Here's Tamarack. It's right here on the very end.
Oh, okay. Right by you.
And let me say, Mr. Pitts wanted to sell his house. He wanted to move. So it's not like the city came in and forced him to move. He wanted to sell. So
I talked to Mr. Pitts last year, and that was way last year when I just walked out and talked to him. And he said, if I can sell this, yes, I want to sell this house. I don't know what the city paid, they won't tell me. But I know he was happy.
Well, all I can say that we paid the fair market value.
That's right.
You did what?
Fair market value. You know,
Well, those people that were involved in the flood and all those houses had to go, they didn't get fair market value, did they? No,
I don't know,
they
ma'am.
were
That
really
was-
treated
That
real
was
bad.
way before. I don't know. And that was used. It was a different type of money being used at that time too. That was federal money that they used to buy those. The city got to buy those guys out. What it was, I don't know, but I do know this: we'll resurrect them when it floods. How about that? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And then 'cause that was one of the deals, kind of the selling point for us to even build in this area. Initially, we were not going to build over here.
Right. So now you're saying it's not gonna ever flood again?
I ain't gonna never say it. But I do know this.
Yeah.
If it flood, we'll clean it off and start back playing soccer in about 3 weeks. We can do that. Now up here, but we're out of the flood zone on the football stadium.
Oh,
That's not in the flood zone.
okay.
So we're out of that. But in the south part, that's still flood. That's still flood.
Yeah, in actuality, that street that was flooded, what is exactly going to be there? I see them over there all the time. But on the actual F Street, F Street, Euclid,
Porter, what's soccer?
Where
Well,
F Street.
F Street.
Oh, yeah. Down in the bottom, off Brookfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the complex. soccer field.
Those two areas
Yeah.
where the grass is.
Exactly, yeah, those two are soccer fields.
So you still have a lot of rocks and stuff that you people place them over there or whoever, I don't know, I can't imagine. Is it really?
We got a barricade that's gonna be going up on the other side of L Street so that it can kind of keep people from taking stuff and dumping stuff back there.
This is not by some commercial thing, this is something, these things are big.
Yeah, no big rock there.
We're not talking about either the city or something commercial is doing it, this is not.
The guy that built the hike and bike trail, they got that trailer that's over there. They put those big rocks over there to keep cars from coming back in the back part there where they got the hike and bike trail. The big rocks.
Okay.
All righty. Ms. Johnson, you have any questions?
No, y'all answered my question. Cause I came up there when it was.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Great. Good.
Back to the street and my portion of it. Like I said, my number, my name is on the flyer, the handout. I encourage you to take one of those. I also have business cards back there. I asked three things. If you have an issue that arises and it involves like property damage or like vehicular damage and that, one is to take pictures. Second is please save your receipts. And the third one is if it's like a vehicle or something like that, try and you can do an over-counter police report or you can request the police to come out and then to take care of that. That helps expedite things, but I'd be more than happy to work with you if something occurs. And if it's an issue of dust or something like that, please give me a call.
When is it set to take place?
Pardon?
When is it set to take place?
We anticipate that the start of the city's portion, the construction, to begin tentatively in November. I believe some of the utilities might be coming in a little before that, possibly, but they could be coming in the next couple of weeks. If nothing else, thank you all for coming out. And we do have a copy of the plans up front, or if you want to talk to any of the staff, we'll be sticking around for a while to address any additional questions you have. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Reverend Benson.
If any of you came in late, this will be videoed. It was videotaped and will be on the internet. And by the time you get home, our great video producer, Brother King Barty, will have downloaded it. So if you missed the earlier part, you can go back and look at it by way of review. He'll give you that information. We want to thank you for coming to Bethany First Baptist Church. You have been welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Can I read the little words?
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Sure.
How many people came to this church right here? How many members? Are these the youth in charge?
Yeah, we got 150 members.
Okay. I just came in, parking this side, and I realized, your parking is, they need a little help. So I want to see the name H.L. Sumbo and JP Paving. I want to give you a little donation and fix your parking lot, if you let me.
Well, then you'll be welcome here all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I will not help you to.
Well, good. Good things come. All right. Thank you so much. All right. God bless you. You help all the churches. Well, man, you're going to be welcome around here. We're going to fix some brunch for you. We're going to fix some brunch for you if you're going to do that, man.